Rodriguez today. It's time for your midday fix of facts and spicy sides.
From breaking headlines to backroom whispers.
All served hot and fresh. Happy Monday. I'm Monique Tuzon-Basi.
I'm Ferdi Salvador. Glad to have you with us.
I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is the Daily Dish.
And I'm Chal Lontoc. Join us in the next hour and a half for the news, meets, and stories that matter to all of us.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. And it's not one of those Mondays where we're like, oh, I'm not going to work. It's a happy Monday, in fact.
Yeah, we're
Monday.
actually very energized today. So what did we all do
Also
this
wishing that
weekend?
everyone has gassed up already.
Okay.
That one too.
Okay, you know what? My siblings were like panicking in our chat group, you know. And I was like, guys, it's only a couple of hours. How much money are we going to save? I know we're going to save money, and then?
Well, at least we're gonna save, I think, 100 or 200, 500. We don't
my
know.
husband put it in perspective.
If you gassed up
Because
today.
we gassed up last night, and Tam was like, it's just like we have to sacrifice one going out to eat, like a dinner out,
Yes.
and that'll basically offset the gas.
Well, to all the e-vehicle owners out there, congratulations.
congrats.
I
It's
am
your
now
moment.
in the EV market. I have to talk to Paulo Del Rosario
Woohoo,
and G.
yeah.
Baroga for
Yes.
What's the name of their show? How can I forget?
Shift
Shift
happens.
happens. I'm so
Yes.
sorry, Paolo and G. But yes, I'm gonna take your advice
Yes.
seriously.
I'm sure they're going to be talking about this today because it's going up tomorrow.
Super.
Yes.
But the thing is, guys, like I saw the lines going into the petrol stations a while ago, and I was like, it's so mahaba. So if you're gonna save 100 or 200 pesos, but you're burning fuel falling in line, so what's the?
I know. That doesn't
6,
work.
7.
That doesn't work. You should have gassed up last week, or I gassed up yesterday.
We
There
didn't know
weren't any
naman last
lines.
week, di ba?
There weren't any lines yesterday.
Yes, but what I'm doing more than fuel is I'm going to start buying essentials in the grocery store. And not panic buying, just essentials so that I don't
You could
get
be
hard.
home and relax.
That one I'll save a
So
lot more
basically
than
buy
gas.
in bulk so you don't do as much grocery runs
Exactly.
going out unless you
Exactly.
can walk to your grocery store.
You know what I stocked up on?
What?
Butter.
Okay,
And cheese.
okay, butter and cheese for
I'm
the
expecting what?
ongoing
Hold on,
impediment wars.
Import prices, shipping costs are gonna
Okay,
go up.
okay.
It's going to
If you're
affect
gonna hoard
those
butter.
products.
And that's how we do it here at the Daily Dish, keeping it stylish with butter
No,
and
but wait,
cheese.
can you live without butter?
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes.
I can't.
Oh, because you're dieting.
No,
Like you love your healthy eating thing.
That's like so
I was thinking she's gonna stock up of olive oil, meat, and canned goods. No,
like, guys,
butter.
I'm buying butter.
Because
The good
okay,
fats.
I get it, Mai.
The good fats.
Mai's French butter is expensive.
No, I
So-
love bread, and you know what goes with bread, of course.
What kind of
butter.
bread?
Any healthy bread, not the ones.
Everyone's
off
finding their
grocery
own
shops, but
tips on how to
healthy
No,
get
bread.
no,
over
that's
the
fine.
situation.
I just got gulat, my love. Okay, I just got gulat with the butter. I was like,
We should
okay.
think about this. Should be our banter tomorrow. If we were to hoard one thing,
Yeah.
what would it be?
Yes.
So stay tuned. So we know Maya's gonna hoard butter, and then wait till tomorrow
Hit
to find
us
out our
up in the
answer.
comments.
It is, and this is what I want to hear from you all. You know, aside from importing butter and the cost of flying, PBBM is in New York
Oh,
City.
I saw that.
And he's going to be addressing the UN Council, UN General Assembly.
But look at
And
that
I gotta
photo.
say,
Yes.
I like his
Mr.
outfit.
President, I am really checking and approving the outfit today
The scarf
because
is scarfing.
He is
the
doing
scarf
it
is
right.
scarfing.
The hat
Yes.
is hatting. So
The
it's-
hat is
it's
hatting.
Ferdi
The coat is coating.
Salvador.
If Ferdi Salvador approves of it, you know you're in the good.
You know what? Okay, let's not politicize it. We're just talking about the style.
It's just
And
outfit.
style.
Strictly fashion talk.
I
guys.
gotta say his style is very presidential, but cool. Okay, so
No, we all approve of this one.
yeah, don't look deep into it, guys. It's just style. Okay,
It's
let's
just
not.
surface level outfit.
If you're
Yeah.
going
for
to
real.
enter and go down in a country and talk to the UN, might as well look this good, right?
I like it.
Anyway.
Mr. President,
With
yes.
the wind
Yeah.
blowing.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
job.
Look at
Send
that
us your
scarf.
comments. Send us your
Yeah.
comments. Again, we're not trying to politicize this. We are just saying, you know, give credit where credit's due, and his fashion credit is crediting.
No, what is the one thing that elevated this outfit?
The
I think it's the hat.
For me, it's a scarf.
It's the
It's the hat, but the scarf's color really made
Yeah.
it.
I would
Yeah.
agree that it's the hat because take out the hat and just have the scarf.
It's
it
just
wouldn't pull it
average.
up this way.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's I have a word for it, but I might get bashed. I'm not going to I'm not gonna expand this anymore. But we have a lot of guests today.
No, actually, we should ask our guest because one of our
Comment.
guests, she's a very stylish girl. She won Miss World PH this 2026. We have Asia Rose Simpson. So we'll actually ask her.
Yeah, we're gonna
some
talk about
styling
style.
tips and what she thinks.
Absolutely.
Also, we have the girls from Maude Labs, Tin Santos, Monique Tuzon, and Vicki Herrera.
Perfect, because we just celebrated Women's Day yesterday.
Yes.
Women's International
Wow,
Day,
guys,
so
and congratulations to
all-women show.
Monique!
Yeah!
Congratulations. Thank
We
you.
hope you guys saw her on
Thank
BNC's
you.
feature.
I got bulat. I was like, oh, I'm so honored. It's a good
And-
surprise. So thank you, BNC, for
Absolutely.
recognizing
Proud of
that.
And I watched you last night in
Yeah, you
Agenda
killed it,
Weekend.
girl, on
You
Agenda
killed it with your
Weekend.
taggle
I
on.
hope you all watched it. Just bringing you the news, and that's what we're gonna do. The headlines are coming up. A lot of stories to cover. In today's top stories, President Bongbong Marcos will ask emergency powers from Congress to reduce fuel excise taxes. The Department of Energy issues show-cause orders on 54 gasoline stations following its inspection in Metro Manila. Tennis star Alex Ayala advances to the next round of the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells. And later in the show, we'll speak with Miss World Philippines 2026, Asia Rose Simpson, and we also have Tin Santos, Monica Simpson, and Vicki Herrera of Maude Labs. Stay tuned for that. As the U.S.-Israel-Iran war enters its second week, the Philippines is feeling the ripple effects through rising oil prices. On BNC's Agenda Weekend, Energy Secretary Sharon Garin said the government is now working with economic managers and lawmakers to push for the suspension of excise taxes on imported fuel before Congress goes on recess.
But on oil, I think ang na-mention ng presidente is more on the excise tax. I mean, excise tax kasi pag nag-import ka, and lahat naman ng oil natin is imported, there's 6 pesos per liter. So, mas ano yata yun mas effective yun for now. And that's why he mentioned it. And also, we're also, just to make sure that we have enough supply, there was also mention of the president on allowing mga biofuels kasi pwede mo yan i-mix sa kotse mo sa gas Diba? So that's an option. And we also have that We also have a domestic supply of that. So we're just making sure that worst comes to worst, meron tayong preparation.
Opo, but Secretary, how soon should we expect the suspension of excise tax on oil?
We've been talking over this weekend with all the agencies concerned, DOF, DBM, and then also talking to House of Representatives and Senate, and hopefully we can get this done before the recess of Congress.
Garin added they are investigating 70 gas stations over alleged oil profiteering. Malacanang will seek Congress for emergency powers to the president to help bring down oil prices. Don Tagala is on the line for the details. Hi, Don. Go ahead.
Mai, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will be formally requesting the Philippine Congress on Monday to grant him emergency powers to ease the excise tax on petroleum products as the war in the Middle East continues. Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro said the Department of Energy will be making the request on behalf of the president. This request came after the president made known his intention to exercise emergency powers to cut the excise tax on petroleum products if oil prices exceeded $80 per barrel. According to Castro, the DOE has issued a show-cause order to 54 gas stations to determine if there have been violations to the guidelines on oil price adjustments. While the president is asking Filipinos to be united and help each other out amid this crisis in the Middle East, Malacanang has this warning for illegal price gougers.
hindi po dapat kayo magsamantala. Ang gusto po ng Pangulo ay magtulungan tayo. Kapag kayo po ay nagsamantala, meron po kayong kalalagyan. Kayo po ay madidemanda at maaari matanggalan pa po kayo ng pagkakataon na kayo ay makapagnegosyo. So tandaan niyo po, ang sabi po ng Pangulo, magtulungan tayo. Pero pag hindi po kayo tumulong at kayo po ay ng abuso sa kahinaan po na nangyayari ngayon, kayo po ay maaari mademanda at may kaukulang parusa po yan.
Mai?
Thank you for that report. As you all know, the president is in New York for UN engagements. Don Tagala is reporting to us from Jersey City. Thanks, Don. House Speaker Faustino Boji D vows to push for a law to ease the burden on Filipinos amid the Middle East crisis. Isaiah Mirafuentes has the details live from the Batasang Pambansa. Isaiah, ano ang latest dyan?
Yes, May, sa kabilangan ng nangyayari ngayong sigalot sa gitnang silangan, pagpapagaan ng epekto nito. Yan ang pinangako ni House Speaker Bojo D na kasalukuyang prioridad ng mga mambabatas. Sa inilabas na pahayag ng House Speaker, sinabi niyang nakikita na nila ang kasalukuyang resulta ng sigalot na nagaganap ngayon sa Middle East. Aminado si D na nagkakaroon ng epekto sa ekonomiya at petrolyo ang nangyayari ngayong sigalot. Sinabi rin niya na natural sa mga Pilipino ang makaramdam ng pangamba dahil sa tensyon sa Middle East dahil apektado ng pagtaas ng produktong petrolyo ang mga pangangailangan ng mga Pilipino. Sa kabila nito, nanindigan si Speaker D na patuloy na ginagampanan ng House of Representatives ang kanilang mandato. Agaran raw nilang isusulong ang mga panukala para mapagaan ang epekto ng krisis sa mga mamamayan, partikular na sa mga manggagawa, commuter at may mga maliliit na negosyo. Nanawagan rin si D ng pagkakaisa habang kinaharap natin ang kasalukuyang pagsubok. May nagpapatuloy sa ngayon ang sinasagawang pagdinig ng Ways and Means Committee kaugnay naman sa agarang pag-abolish ng excise tax. Kabilang sa tinatalakay nila ang hiling ni Pangulong Marcos na mabigyan siya ng kapangyarihan para suspindihin o alisin ang excise tax dito sa bansa. Paniwala ni Department of Energy Secretary Sharon Garin, malaki ang maitutulong nito kung sakali man na maipasa ito sa mga motorista, partikular na nga sa mga tsupermay.
Maraming salamat, Isaiah Mirafuentes ng Abante. Former Energy Secretary and now Leyte Governor Jericho Petilla says targeted subsidies are an effective way to address the fuel crisis. On BNC's The Spokes, he also explains why oil price adjustments take effect on Tuesdays, noting that this reflects bids and trading from the previous week. He says this schedule helps manage fuel sales and keeps prices aligned with current market conditions.
Kung meron kang crisis because nag-privatize ka na, I think the biggest tool ng government is actually subsidy.
Okay.
Because subsidy, pwede kang pumili. Okay? Pag pangkalahatan, pati yung mayayaman nagbe-benefit kung tutuusin. Gawin natin, tingnan natin anong sektor ba ang pinaka-affected dito at pinakamaraming tao? Public transport. So, balik tayo sa panahon ni Pinoy ito, tsaka ni GMA, na bigyan natin ng subsidy ang transport. Mga jeepney drivers, bibigyan mo ng voucher. Sabi nila, paano pag binenta yung voucher? Hindi bibenta yan, hanap buhay nila yan. Okay, they'll really use it for their own business.
You're referring to targeted subsidies, not a full subsidy for all, di ba?
The leader of a government workers group asserts they should have been consulted before President Marcos ordered the implementation of a 4-day work week. On BNC's At the Forefront, Santiago Dasmariñas Jr., president of the Confederation for Unity, Recognition, and Advancement of Government Employees, or COURAGE, said this could affect their productivity. The 4-day work week is part of government measures to address rising fuel prices triggered by the Middle East conflict.
Ang government employee magtatrabaho from 7 to 6 in the evening. Ngayon po, anong mga problema? Pagpapasok ka po ng 7 in the morning, lalo na yung mga nearby provinces, kaya if you are from Bulacan, you are from Laguna po, magproblema na po paghapon na. Kasi matraffic na po yan. And incidentally, ang mga, lalo-lalo po sa metropolis cities, Manila, Cebu, Davao, Zamboanga, and the rest, Iloilo and others, paghapon na po, matraffic na po yun. So, wala na pong papasok between 5 and 6 na customer. So, nandoon ka sa opisina, and supposedly, ang sabi ay magtipid, naka-on po ang aircon doon.
He also asserts workers need to have a daily living wage of 1,200 pesos, citing the possible spike in prices of basic commodities. Former NEDA Secretary Winnie Monsod calls for a wealth tax to make the rich pay their fair share. On BNC's Business 360, she said low-income households bear the heavy burden of the country's high value-added tax. Monsod noted that the VAT funds government services, but a targeted tax on the wealthy could reduce inequality.
The Ibon Foundation is calling for the abolition of the 12% value-added tax, saying that this is disproportionately unfair for low and middle-income families. But at the same time, we have to take a look at the public finance perspective. What are your thoughts on this?
They want to remove the tax. Everybody enjoy what a blessing for the poor. Okay, my question then again, where are you going to get the revenues that you need to run the government, to do your infrastructure, to do your education? Where are you going to get that? The value-added taxes represent a large portion of the tax revenues of the government. Why haven't we discussed a wealth tax? What is the wealth tax? Meaning to say a tax on the wealthy. You have billionaires in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Right? You should be, you say on the first billion pesos of your wealth, not income, your wealth, a certain amount of tax. There are templates that, because there are countries abroad who have used a wealth tax. Unfortunately, the United States has not imposed a wealth tax because the United States is now an oligarchy or a kleptocracy where there are billionaires who have control over what is happening in the government. But we can certainly look at the examples of Argentina, whatever other countries that have imposed a wealth tax, and it's a very good wealth tax because it's only the rich that pay it.
In other news, Gabriela Party List Representative Sara Elago is studying possible legal action against lawyer Ferdinand Topacio. This follows Topacio's public admission that he once desired the lawmaker. On Agenda Weekend, Elago stressed the need for collective action to end the culture of silence, victim blaming, and violence against women.
Ayan ay sa ngayon, yung mga posibleng legal na hakbang ay pinag-aaralan natin para may pananagutan. Kasi kung maaalala nyo, yung decision dati kay Alarigadon na may kinalaman sa misogyny at sexism, si journalist na si Raisa Robles, yan din yung naging dahilan ng disbarment. No? Kaya marami ding mga nagpo-propose sa atin ng ganyang hakbang, pero sa bahagi natin hinahanda na rin.
Senators are pressing for answers as delays in the Philippine Statistics Authority's investigation of Joseph C's birth certificate raise concerns. C is a Filipino businessman and former chairman of Global Ferronickel, currently involved in a high-profile citizenship controversy. We now go live to Dexter Ganibe from the Senate for the latest on this story. Hi, Dexter.
Hi, Mai. Joseph C. arrived at the Senate inquiry this morning after initial reports from the Bureau of Immigration that he can't make it today because he is suffering from chest pain. The Committee on Justice and Human Rights hearing presided by Senator Riza Ontiveros earlier requested the camp of Mr. C to submit to the committee the medical certificate to justify his absence. C's counsel, Attorney Alma Malyonga, said that she was just informed this morning about the whereabouts of his client and she is personally concerned about her client's condition. Malyonga also informed the Senate that they will be submitting to the committee today the decision of the Court of Appeals promulgated on February 20th, affirming the grant for a petition for habeas corpus and directing the release of Mr. C from the government's custody. Attorney Malyonga said that until now, more than 2 weeks after the appellate court's decision, Mr. C is still languishing inside the immigration detention facility and the reports of chest pain complaints concerns her. But at the middle of the Senate hearing, Mr. C arrived and was accompanied by the medical doctor of the Immigration Bureau. During the hearing, Ontiveros questioned the late endorsement of the findings on the irregularities of the late registration of the birth certificate of Mr. C by the Philippine Statistics Authority to the Solicitor General for the cancellation process. According to Senator Ontiveros, it took a quarter of a year before the PSA submitted its report to the OSG after the irregularities were found December last year. The legal services of PSA said that it took them some time to locate the baptismal certificate from the parish church where she was allegedly baptized, and there were other factors that had significant impact on their investigation. And nonetheless, the PSA said they have already submitted all the findings and documents to the OSG. PSA legal officer said that it would take them a month or so to finish the investigation, but they have only acquired the important documents needed just last month. Ontiveros called the delay of filing the needed documents by the PSA to the OSG as a very mysterious one, especially it involves a very controversial personality. During the hearing, the PSA also admitted that more than 1,400 endorsements to the OSG were done since 2024, and majority of these endorsements, particularly the cancellation of birth certificates, are still at the office of the Solicitor General. And seeing this dilemma, Senator Rapi Tulfo is proposing a law that will give the Philippine Statistics Authority the power to automatically cancel all these fraudulent birth certificates if proven that they were acquired with some irregularities. Mai?
Thanks for monitoring the hearing. Dexter Ganibe joining us live from the Senate. Cyber libel complaints are filed against the so-called 18 Marines and their lawyer, Levi Baligon, for linking several personalities in an alleged cash delivery scheme tied to the flood control scandal. Andrea Salve is on the phone for the details. Andrea, what can you tell us?
My ML Party List Representative Laila De Lima and Father Flavi Villanueva filed cyber libel complaints against the so-called 18 Marines and their lawyer Levi Baligon for linking her to an alleged cash delivery scheme connected to the International Criminal Court. The group claimed De Lima received cash-filled suitcases or maletas from flood control kickbacks allegedly tied to former lawmaker Zaldi Co, and said they saw her in meetings between public officials and the ICC. Baligon later admitted in an interview that including De Lima in the list of lawmakers who supposedly received maletas or 800 billion pesos in cash was an oversight. De Lima questioned the timing of the allegations, noting they emerged while the ICC was holding confirmation of these hearings, crimes against humanity case against former President Rodrigo Duterte and ahead of the expected impeachment proceedings against Vice President Sara Duterte. She said the claims were meant to divert attention from these developments and showed growing desperation as the ICC case appears to be moving forward. The lawmaker firmly pushed back at what she described as another attempt to besmirch her name. For his part, Father Villanueva said that their decision to file complaints was to allow the truth to stand. De Lima and Villanueva then proceeded to file perjury complaints at the Department of Justice against the alleged Marines. Mai.
Thank you, Andrea Salve, reporting. The first business gathering of the ASEAN bloc is happening this week. Ivy Reyes is reporting live from Taguig City. Hi, Ivy. What is expected to happen there now?
Yes, Mai, we're here at the beginning of the 32nd ASEAN Economic Ministers Retreat, and the advancer briefing for the ASEAN Business Environment Forum, or ABEF, has just concluded. We had Department of Trade and Industry Committee on Business and Investment Promotion Executive Director Benedict Oy brief reporters on what will happen on March 11 for the ABEF. Now, this is the second business gathering of the ASEAN bloc since February, and this briefing will be followed by the preparatory senior economic officials meeting tomorrow to be led again by the Trade Industries Bureau of Internal Trade Relations. Like the first economic forum in February, the ASEAN Business Environment Forum, or ABEF, is focused on public-private partnerships and digitalization. According to DTI, the motivation behind our hosting of this side event is the timely impact of the conflict in the Middle East, the trade war between the United States and China, among other geopolitical issues which make the business environment unpredictable. DTI adds that these tensions affect trading dynamics, which is why the Philippines, as chair, wants to translate policy reforms and concretize them into tangible solutions. By facilitating high-level engagements, the Philippines, according to DTI, sets the stage for collaborations and actions across the region. Mai, on Malacanang Matters, Executive Secretary Ralph Recto just announced that the cabinet met on March 6 to discuss and align all agencies or departments' programs with the administration's Ambisyon Natin 2040, or the administration's collective vision for the government's serving of the people for the next 25 years. And for everyone's information, E.S. Recto, Deputy Secretary Sani Angara, and Agrarian Reform Secretary Conrado Estrella III are the designated caretakers of the administration, while the president's away for his working visit in New York City until tomorrow. Mai.
Thank you, Ivy Reyes, joining us live from Taguig. Up next, we sit down with a woman who has captured the spotlight with her grace, intelligence, and advocacy. Stay with us. Miss World Philippines 2026, Asia Rose Simpson, joins us live here on The Daily Dish. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Daily Dish. Our guest today is a woman who truly embodies beauty with a purpose. Recently crowned Miss World Philippines 2026, she now carries the Philippine flag to the international stage.
Behind the crown and sash is an inspiring journey, and today we'll learn more about her path to the title, the preparations behind the pageant, and her plans as she represents the country at Miss World. Please welcome to the Daily Dish, Miss World Philippines 2026, Asia Rose Simpson.
Hi, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming.
being
First of all,
here.
congratulations
Yes,
and
congrats.
happy Women's Month.
Yes, happy Women's Month.
We want to start this interview by asking, because your name is so unique and we love it, how did you get the name Asia?
Yes, so actually it was my parents, obviously. So they loved the name because it was the continent that the Philippines is on. My dad is from the Philippines. My family and I are missionaries here, have been for the past, well, for me, 18 years now. But also they love the meaning of it. Asia means sunrise or resurrection. My family and I were Christians, and so that holds a lot of meaning to us. But then my middle name is Rose, which was taken after my Lola Rosario, which he called Lola Rose.
That's cool. You
Such a
mentioned your
unique
parents are missionaries. Where?
Here in the Philippines.
I know, but all over the Philippines? Is it a
Yeah.
particular sect that you guys work with or that you're part of?
Yeah, so it started out actually in Capiz,
Yes.
in Roa City, because that's where my dad was from. Or actually, he's from Iloilo, and he has family in Roa City, Capiz, in San Jose. And it's actually because of his brother. So when he was younger, he and his brother were separated. His only full-blood brother. They were separated at birth. And so right before his mother died, she told him, hey, you have a brother. I've been trying to find him, but I haven't been able to find him. And so my dad, that's the first time he actually knew he had a full-blood brother. And so he went back to the Philippines. At that time, he was touring in with a group called Masterpiece, I believe, or he was touring. And so Then he went to the Philippines, traveled there to look for his brother, and they were there for a month. Could not find him. And on the very last day, through a radio station, actually, Bombo Radio in Rosario Capiz, they found his brother and they were reunited.
Yes. A parent trap story.
Right,
That's
yeah.
so amazing.
Cool.
Yeah,
and so that's where
kabalo
it
ka
started.
mag-Ilonggo.
Oo, opo. Siyempre naman.
Kabalo siya mag-Ilonggo na.
Kabalo.
Yeah, you lost me. I was like, yeah.
Mas marunong ako mag-Hiligay nun sa
Hiligay na.
Tagalog.
Oh, okay.
Mahirap kitang Tagalog.
So what other languages do you speak?
Okay, so I speak English, obviously. I'm fluent in English, and then I'm learning Tagalog and Hiligaynon. I am more fluent in Hiligaynon because that's where I grew up. That's what I grew up hearing. But I'm learning to be more fluent in both Hiligaynon and Tagalog, just because we're here, and it's a good skill to learn. It's so hard.
All right, I want to hear her say.
There you go.
Hi, in Hiligaynon. Hi,
test.
I am Asia Rose, and I'm here at the Daily Dish in Hiligaynon.
Okay, give me one second. Okay, so hi, my name is Asia Rose Simpson, and we are here at the Daily Dish.
Yes.
Okay. Kamusta mga kasimano ako? Ako po si Asia Rose Simpson at diri na ako sa Daily Dish. Madamo gini salamat nga andito akong painti.
Wow!
Thank you so much.
It's so cute.
With an accent. So cute.
I want to hear her do Tagalog now. This is going to be harder.
Yeah. Seriously.
Kaya mo yan.
Kaya. Well, it's just because what's hard for me is that I mix them so much, so it's like I do.
You think in English?
Yeah, I think in English, and then I translate it into
Hiligaynon.
Tagalog, and then I mix it with Hiligaynon.
It's fine, girl. People do Taglish all the time, so you can do Hilit Tagalog.
Right? I say,
Hili. There you go. Go, girl. Be uniquely you.
Hiligaynon. Yes.
There.
You know, my dear friend beside me is a beauty queen in her own right, and this is her realm. So you guys have a bond that none of us understand. Okay, so perhaps you can ask about her experience.
Yeah, no, because I did Miss World as well.
Really? Wow.
So is this your first pageant?
This is my first pageant in the Philippines, but my very first pageant was when I was 14. Back when we were in the States. It was actually it was during the pandemic, and we were in the Philippines. We had gotten stuck in the house for 480 days because at that time kids could not go out anywhere. And so when the restrictions kind of let up, we went back to the States, and there were several family emergencies that we had to deal with. But during that time, the opportunity to do Miss New Mexico Teen USA arose, and we prayed about it, and we're like, so is this it? Is this how we're gonna start your pageant journey? And I prayed about it, and just like, yes. And so the first year I joined was when I was 14, and I won first runner-up. And after much deliberation and prayer, we went back the next year, and I won the title. And from there, I was Miss New Mexico Teen USA, and then we went to Miss Teen USA, and there I won Miss Teen USA Congeniality.
Wow,
so that's where I
lots
started.
of pageants, yeah. And what made you decide you wanted to do Miss World in particular?
Yeah, so of course this is going to sound really cliche, but the advocacy.
Yeah, beauty with a purpose.
Really, I mean, I have a background in mission work, and so Miss World, really their beauty with a purpose it's really their heartbeat, and it's what they want to do. It's not just a pageant, it's not just about the glitz and glamour, it's not just about being on the stage. In fact, the majority of the pageant is not on stage. They have so many different fast tracks, they have sports, they have head-to-head, they have beauty with a purpose, and so it really, I think that it gives purpose, even more purpose really, to pageantry, and that's why I joined it specifically as well, to really give myself a bigger voice and platform to advocate for SEED, which is my advocacy for the pageant, but it's something that we've been living out already for many, many years before I even joined pageantry. It's called SEED, which stands for Sports and Dance Initiative, because sports and dance, both of them, we like to call them universal languages, which means that even if you don't speak the language of the country that you're in, sports can talk and dance can speak. For example, even though I speak some of the language here, like when we go to places like Vietnam, I do not know any Vietnamese, and they really don't know a lot of English, and so there's a language barrier, right? But through pickleball, we were able to go into different communities and we were able to play with them, and through that we were able to build a community. And also sports and dance, they have so many benefits for your physical, mental, and emotional
Yeah,
health.
it's all encompassing,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so a lot of people don't understand the power that it has, especially it's like, oh, it's a game, oh, it's just movements, but really it holds a lot of power if you use it correctly.
You know, Asia, I'm very curious because, you know, obviously beauty pageants it's a tough world. You have to be beautiful, you've got to have the brains like my friend over here.
Just like you.
But how does religion push you forward to win? Or how does it hold you back as a beauty queen?
No, that's a very great question, actually. So for me, my faith is the center point of who I am and for what I do. If it weren't for my faith, I wouldn't be in pageantry, which sounds very strange, sounds very odd, I know, because why? Christianity especially and the culture of pageantry, they clash, right? It's not a popular opinion, it's not a popular thing to hold. But for me, I think that the church specifically has done a very bad job of representing the love of Christ, which is unconditional but not tolerant. And so for me, my Christianity is not something that I slap people across the face with. That's not the goal. The goal is to be the Christian representation that is not currently in pageantry or in media or in that realm. Because I think that everyone in this day and age, they're looking for representation. And so for me, I am the Christian representation.
Oh, that's really sweet. I like how you handled that. And she was well-spoken, and that's why she won. She handled that very well. But you know, with the pageant preparation, it's a lot. Passerella, Q&A, all the photo shoots you have to do behind the scenes, all the videos. Which part did you find the most challenging?
Honestly, for the preparation for Miss World Philippines, I think the hardest preparation was the waiting. Because personally, I love to get things done. I am very goal and task oriented. I love to make lists of everything that I have to do and have to get done in this amount of time. But then there was a time in between the Quezon City pageant and the Miss World Philippines pageant where there was a lot of dead space. So we didn't know what was happening. They hadn't told us or given us the information yet. So it was up to us really to do the preparation, to continue to train in fitness and passerella and question and answer, and then also get all the requirements done, the photos, the videos, because you have to do a BWAP video and an intro video. So it was a matter of being disciplined enough and being able to do that as well with our team and on our own.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But before we ask you more about, you know, your experience and other things, we're gonna take a quick break. Stay with us with Miss World 2026, Miss Asia Simpson. Stay with us here at the Daily Dish. Welcome back to the Daily Dish. We're still joined by Miss World Philippines 2026, Asia Rose Simpson.
Yay! And we love talking to you behind the scenes and here, but you know, we are shocked.
We're shook.
We are shooked. That's why we are at loss of words, because you said you don't even know where your Miss World pageant
will be
is
and when.
So you're just like in limbo right now?
Yes, and that's the thing where you have to be flexible. We have a hashtag, actually, me and my family, hashtag adaptable, just because you never know what's going to happen. And so they've said some things like maybe July, maybe August, but there's no confirmation yet. So in this time, I just have to prepare the best.
You just
I
have to
can.
be ready
But
whenever.
since you don't know where it's gonna be, what's one place you wish the pageant's gonna be held at, aside from the Philippines,
Aside
obviously?
from the Philippines, obviously. Oh, you know, in the back of my mind, like fantasy, probably Hobbs, New Mexico. That's not going to happen, but my family, a lot of my family lives in Hobbs, New Mexico, so if they could be there to watch it, that would be amazing. But I mean, anywhere on earth, really.
She wants
I don't
home
know.
court advantage. Mr. Simpson, what's happening?
But what are you doing now to prepare, since any time they can just say, okay, it's next month or it's tomorrow at this place?
So actually, me and the organization are building a team. We're also continuing to do me and my family are continuing to do what we did for Miss World Philippines, which is just make a plan, and also because there's a lot of different aspects that you have to deal with, and so really planning for them all and actually doing them all, like for Passerella and for fitness and for Q&A. Like it's the matter of putting it all together and to be consistent with it, because if you're not consistent with it, then really what's the point of it? And so we're building a team. We're working on all the requirements that they need, which is like the photos or the videos. We actually did part of our video requirements last week in Rojas because we were there for a homecoming as well as several different outreaches with Seed Initiative. And so it's just a matter of continuing what we've been doing.
Yeah, are you in any camp or are you independent?
No, independent actually.
Oh, that's even harder. Yeah, so that's why they're building a team.
What does Arnold Vega-Fria got to say about this?
They are my team. They are my team.
Yeah, ALV is your team
Yeah, that's
now.
why I slipped in his name there. Okay, so of course, you know, the Philippines is one of the top guns in the world, okay, on earth for beauty contests. And people make fun of us because of this, because everything stops, okay? Do you feel like there's a major pressure for you? Because the last time, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, the last time Miss World was relevant in my eyes was when you were part of it. No, but with Megan Young.
Yeah, in 2013,
right? Yes,
she was the
2013.
first one and only one right now to win.
Right.
So do you feel any pressure winning winning the second crown for the Philippines?
Well, I mean, there's always pressure in, good ways and bad ways. For me, I don't see it as, I have to win, I have to do this. For me, every competition that I join, it's about competing with myself. It's about doing the best that I can do, because if I look at the other contestants, if I look about, what are they doing, what are they wearing, what are they saying, then I'm going to lose track of my own track. If we're looking at it as a race, like if I'm over here looking at them, I'm going to get off track in my own course. And so for me, it's not a matter of looking at it as pressure. It's a responsibility. It's an honor. And so for me, I'm going to focus on what I can control, which again is a really hard thing for me to do, because I like to have things in control. I like to know when, where, or I like to know exactly what I'm going to be doing or exactly what I'm going to be saying. But that's something that God has really pushed me to grow in this season, is to not have such a tight hold on what control, because really, what can I control?
It's true.
I
That's
can
a great
control what I
mindset
do.
But you know what? Monique and I control this narrative.
We're going to put you on the hot seat. So we're going to do some Q&A. Just look, this is going to be part of your training for the Miss World stage.
Yes.
So the first one's going to be a bit intense.
Okay.
Since it's women, I know, right? We're going to start
I'm nervous for her.
Since it's Women Empowerment Month, Women's Month essentially, and there's been talk online with the recent remarks of Bong Suntay with Ann Curtis objectifying women. Since you were recently crowned Miss World Philippines 2026, how can you use this voice to challenge that objectification? And also, how do you change the narrative from, instead of objectifying women, just seeing them as objects, as beauty? How do you change that narrative to make them more empowered and gain that respect?
Well, I think first of all that Ann Curtis, she handled herself very well. What she said was very true, and it's sad to see the objectification of women, even though we've tried so hard to, human rights, honestly. And so for me, we can't change other people, but we can be the voice for those who do not have a voice. And so for people in platforms and in spaces like public platforms, for example, like you were talking about me and being Miss World Philippines 2026, I think that it's a good way for you to be an example, because the only way to show someone that they can have some, or that they need something, is to show them that you have it yourself. And for me, I think for Women's Month especially, it's very timely. And it's also an example of that we still need to show respect to ourselves, we need to show respect to others, as well as be the voice for those who have no voice.
Right. So, of course, our country is also facing a lot of issues concerning flood control projects. If you had the chance to speak to policymakers, what would you ask them, or to prioritize and address issues like flooding, improve disaster preparedness, and of course, ensure accountability in a concise answer?
Well, I think transparency is a very big thing that needs to happen, especially with taxpayers and citizens. They need to know where their money is going. They need to know what's happening behind the scenes, because how are you supposed to know what's happening if it's all blocked? And so for the leadership, just remember that your first responsibility is to your people. And so a nation without its people is just land. So you need to put your people first, and you need to recognize that your citizens want change. And so who's that going to start with? Everything rises and falls through leadership. So be the change, please.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
And you know, right now we're living in, I guess, very weird times. Weird in the sense that there's a lot happening around the world. And as Miss World, there's, you know, all the conflict happening in the Middle East, in Iran, the United States, with Israel. So as the Miss World representative of the Philippines, how do you see the importance of bringing peace and diplomacy in the world, and how will you use your voice?
Again, peace is something that the world is lacking at the moment. And in these things, in physical wars, we have to remember that there's also spiritual wars happening as well. And so for citizens who do not think that they have any influence, or they don't think that they can do anything, remember that there is one thing that you can always do, which is prayer. And prayer does change things, and that's something that you can hold on to. And so for public speakers, for people on public platforms, remember that the very essence of your job is influencing people. You are directly impacting the people around you and the people who watch you. So make sure that everything that you do, say, and act is above board, is righteous, is something that is going to help our world become a more peaceful place. Because if not you, then who? It starts with us.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, right. We're the judge.
Thank you so much for that question.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that
Okay,
answer.
as Miss World Philippines 2026, how do you plan to use your voice and platform to bring attention to social changes affecting Filipinos today?
Well, social media is a great way to really show a lot of things, especially since we live in a digital age, right? Everyone has access to at least some sort of device, and so social media is a great way to advocate for certain things. For me personally, my advocacy is specifically advocating for the physical, mental, and emotional welfare of today's youth, because mental health crisis is on the rise, right? 1 in 7 children worldwide experience mental health disorders, and then the World Health Organization relays that 80% of adolescents don't get enough physical activity. And so with SEED, that's one way that I can help.
Right.
Help communities and really help the youth specifically, because they're our future, but they're also our now. And so that's how I'm doing that currently.
A very short question, last question to ask of you, if you don't mind. Aside from the Philippines, which country would you help out right now?
Ooh, there's so many options. Well, the Philippines is definitely always on my mind. I have connections in Vietnam as well, so Vietnam or the United States, or if we could go and do Israel and Iran. I'm not sure how we would do that, especially since there's so much happening right now with wars and politics. And so honestly, wherever I can help, wherever I have opportunity, it really doesn't matter to me because help is help and impact is impact.
And now, before we let her go, you
Yes.
know, we started with a bang. Now we're going to end with a bang. Quickly, before we let you leave, a lot of women look up to you. You are Miss World, so you have a responsibility now to uphold. So what's your message to the young, aspiring Filipinas who are still finding their worth, still trying to figure out who they are? What is your message to them when appearance is the biggest thing right now, since that's the biggest discourse that we're talking about now?
My biggest advice to you guys out there watching, not only for young women, not only for just for everyone in general, do not put your identity in something that can change. Because if you put it in appearances, if you put it in money, if you put it in friends, what happens when that's all gone? Then you lose yourself as well? No, put your identity in something that will not change. For me, that's Jesus Christ. He is the same today, yesterday, and forever. And if you're looking to find yourself, I think one of the best things you can do is serve other people. Because when you serve other people, you're also serving yourself. When you help other people, it's also helping your mental state, your physical state. So just try it out. Find your passion and find your purpose. Always know your why. And always go back to how am I impacting the world around me? Because you may only be one person, but you have such influence in your sphere.
Thank you
I
so
think
much.
she's ready.
Yes,
She doesn't
Asia
need any more
Rose
props.
Simpson, Philippines Miss World 2026. Thank you so much for joining us here in the studio, and we wish you the best of luck. And please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you, guys. Welcome back to the Daily Dish. We begin world news in Iran as it names Ali Khamenei's hardline son, Mustafa, as its new supreme leader. This signals that hardliners remain firmly in charge as the week-old U.S.-Israeli war with Iran pushed oil above $100 a barrel. Mustafa, who's influential in security forces and business networks, was chosen by the Assembly of Experts. His father, Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, was killed in one of the first strikes launched against Iran. Following the announcement, sirens blared in Tel Aviv as Iran fires missiles towards Israel. One projectile was intercepted over Jerusalem amid the latest barrage. Israel has earlier threatened to target whoever was chosen as Iran's next leader. With the war raging for more than a week now, Iran's UN ambassador says the U.S.-Israeli attacks have killed at least 1,332 Iranian civilians and wounded thousands.
Tennis star Alex Ayala advances to the next round of BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells after world number 4 Coco Gauff retires due to an injury. Sheila Salaysay is on the phone for the details. Hi Sheila, go ahead.
Yes, hi Monique. The phenomenal run of Filipina tennis sensation Alex Ayala rolls on. The 20-year-old Filipina is marching into the round of 16 of the prestigious BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells after world number 4 Coco Gauff was forced to retire due to an injury during their round of 32 showdown. From the opening games, Ayala looked locked in. The rising Filipino raced to a 5-2 advantage in the first set, unleashing aggressive baseline shots and relentless returns that kept the American star under constant pressure. Gauff called for a medical timeout to address discomfort in her left arm after struggling with her serve and committing multiple double faults. When play resumed, Ayala stayed firmly in control. She closed out the opening set 6-2, then quickly surged to a 2-0 lead in the second set before Golf ultimately decided she could not continue, handing the Filipina the victory. While the match ended earlier than expected, Ayala has already made a powerful statement on the court. The win not only sends her into the round of 16 of one of the biggest tournaments outside the Grand Slam, it also evens her head-to-head record with Golf after their previous meeting in Dubai. More importantly, it marks Ayala's fourth career victory over a top 10 player, adding Golf to an impressive list that already includes Jasmine Paulini, Madison Keys, and world number 1 Iga Swiatek. Now the Filipino star sets her sights on the next challenge. Awaiting Ayala in the round of 16 is 14th seed Linda Noskova, who battled past Sorana Cistella in a gritty 3-set clash. Monique?
Thank you so much, Sheila Salaysay reporting. Now, the local government of Candon in Ilocos Sur is looking to position the city as sports tourism destination following the successful staging of the PBA Season 50 All-Star Weekend. Zeus Valdez has the story.
PBA All-Star Game capped the weekend celebration with Team Solid North rallying from a fourth-quarter deficit to edge Team South 147-142. Japet Aguilar led the comeback with 29 points and earned Most Valuable Player honors in the Season 50 showcase. Candon City Mayor Eric Singson is hoping the successful staging of the PBA Season 50 All-Star Weekend will open the door for more major sporting events in the city.
Sana maging sports event hub itong Candon City. Una-una, meron kaming program for yung tourism for sports. So parang nakukuha na natin because of these events. Ay doon tayo patungo. And I hope na mag-continue ito para magdadala ng magandang ekonomiya dito sa Candon din.
The mid-season showcase held at the Candon City Arena in Ilocos Sur drew a packed crowd and brought the PBA closer to fans in northern Luzon. The strong turnout during the weekend also showed how eager local fans were to support major sports events in the region. With the success of the PBA showcase, the city government is now looking to position Candon as a destination for sports tourism. Simpson believes more national events can help boost both community engagement and the local economy.
After a successful PBA All-Star Weekend, Mayor Eric Singson is aiming to boost sports tourism here in Candon City, Ilocos Sur. Zeus Valdez, Abante.
And on entertainment news, while working on new music, film and pop star Olivia Rodrigo is once again using her platform for a cause. The singer recorded a cover of the Book of Love for a charity album by War Child UK. The music video was filmed by children from conflict-affected countries, including Palestine, Sudan, Ukraine, and Yemen. All proceeds from the album will support War Child UK's efforts to protect and advocate for children affected by war. Rodrigo is currently working on new music following her 2023 album Guts.
Police arrested a woman Sunday after she allegedly fired several shots from her car toward the home of Rihanna in Beverly Hills. Authorities say the suspect, believed to be in her 30s, drove near the property and discharged multiple rounds toward the singer's residence. The motive remains unclear. Rihanna was reportedly home at the time but was unharmed. It's also unknown if A$AP Rocky and their children were there. Police quickly responded to the scene and took the woman into custody. An investigation is ongoing. Up next, we hear from Maude Labs leaders Tin Santos, Dizon, and Vicki Herrera as they talk about empowering women executives and connecting leaders around the world. Don't go away, the Daily Dish will be right back. Welcome back to the Daily Dish. We are joined today by Maude Labs, a Manila-born global firm helping women founders and executives build influential personal brands and high-level networks.
They're here to share how their company empowers women to shape the future of business. Please welcome to the show Tin Santos, Monique Tuzon, and Vicki Herrera. Good afternoon, ladies.
Women's Month.
This is the...
In chorus.
Okay. Should I exit the frame? Well, thank you so much for making time for us, because we know you're not only in a global setting, but you're actually global citizens.
Yes.
So, and this is so funny because Tita Chal, we were just talking about where they are.
Each one of them have ties abroad as well. So you guys have been traveling. So we're quite lucky to have all three of them sitting on our lovely Daily Dish couch.
Yes. Especially Monique Tuzon.
Yes, yes, very much so. Okay, let's talk about
Shots
this.
fired.
Three women coming together. How did this happen? Was it over tea, coffee? What do you guys thought of?
Well, my
And how
co-founder, my co-founder Erica Aquino, she's actually the mastermind of it all. She basically handpicked Vicki and Monica to work with me at Maude.
Oh wow, where is she?
She's abroad.
Traveling.
I didn't want to ask anymore, because the answer would be
Not here.
Okay, and what was the thought behind this? Maude Labs, there's a lot of groups already helping other women and helping businesses. What makes this different?
So I think what makes us different is that we don't just focus on community events. We focus on the tangible transformation that our founders and leaders, executives, go through when they engage with us. So we don't just have events, we have strategic partnerships, we have strategy actually building to build basically the image and the identity, connecting their values with how they show up online.
Right. Monica, is this an exclusive thing for women?
You know, I think what happened was we were working, of course, with men in different companies, but the energy that we were attracting and the clientele that was gravitating towards us was women. Because we find that women, all of us, I think, can say, and Chal and everybody here can say that we're so multidimensional and multifaceted that a lot of the founders and entrepreneurs we worked with were struggling to find the way to bring everything together. How do we hone one voice into all of the different things and different aspects of my life, right? As a founder, as a mother, as a friend, as a daughter. So what we do essentially is help these founders bring all of the good things in their life together and amplify that voice.
Right. I mean, towards Vicky, if you don't mind.
Yes, go ahead.
And since the business started, Tin said, her co-founder, put this thing together. But since you've joined, have you seen the business pivot into, again, more women-centric?
We did, definitely. I think there's a rise of women gaining the courage to be visible. I think now is the time where, after years of us maybe playing small or feeling a bit shy, there's this new wave of confidence.
I doubt it, coming from the Herrera siblings. Thank you.
Well, we want to help, right, our community. We want to help leaders because we believe that the more leaders there are that are female, there's going to be a huge difference in the community in terms of how they run the business, the types of businesses that they're going to create. So we're super inspired by our clients. We have clients from the US, from the Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong, and they're also Filipinos who live overseas. So what's great is that we're connecting with us being an agency here in the Philippines, we get to work with Filipinos abroad as well and connect that.
They're justifying the travel.
And their travel expense. Yes. Okay, so can you make it more tangible for us? So if I'm an executive and I approach Maude Labs, what is it exactly that I would be getting? What is the service that you are actually offering?
So I think what makes us special is that there is no one size fits all. We don't believe in templates. So I always like to say when people book a discovery call with us, which that's the introductory call, it's like a first date. Because we're really getting to know them. People come to us with different needs. Maybe they need to figure out who they are. It's a journey of self-discovery. Or maybe they know who they are, but maybe they've been out of the biz for a while and they need to learn how to amplify their voice. Do I need a website? Do I need a logo? What is my brand Bible? What is that even? Where do we start? So we really take the time to almost diagnose the person's needs.
So it's basically a mix of everything from marketing.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
PR as well?
Yes. Yes.
Social media help as well?
Yes.
Okay, what am I missing? Anything else?
We do-
Websites.
Yes.
Websites as well?
We do photo shoots.
Okay, photo shoots.
So it's
We also do
a
photo shoots.
360 agency, basically.
For personal,
branding. For personal
There,
branding.
that's what makes it different. Personal branding.
Right,
Focus on
alright.
the people. Yes.
So if you were to brand Chal and myself, you know,
Hala.
me being the odd one because you guys
think
focus
you
on
should do
women,
this.
how would you pitch
Go
a discovery call with Chal so that our audience can pretty much feel the process.
What happens?
Yeah.
Make it good. No pressure.
Well, I think Monica should answer
Okay,
this.
so since I know you, I have a little more
Yeah.
context. I would brand you as more than just a TV host. You're an entrepreneur. You're a mother. I know you do juggle so many different things, right? So how do we bring all of that together? That's where we would hone that specific voice and to see that you're not just one thing, right? You're multifaceted, I said earlier, multidimensional. So then we would work on amplifying all of those voices. So we would set up a website. We would work on your SEO and SEM, which is when people Google newscaster or travel agency or whatever it is online, you come up. We'd come up with a brand book for you, which would talk about your color story, your logo, the tone of voice that you would take when you're speaking online, in person. What else am I missing, V?
That's most of it.
All I can think of is when you said voices. Yes, the many voices in our
She has a lot of barkada.
We have our
Here.
board meeting. A board meeting.
On a daily.
How about for Ferdi naman, Vicky?
Oh my gosh, putting me on the spot. Well, I know Ferdi differently. I've met Ferdi like 20 years ago.
Yes.
And I think at the core, the through line in your career evolution is you really being a creative consultant and a creative strategist.
Yes.
And that is me only knowing you briefly first, but through our discovery calls, we meet every week. We peel back the new layers of our clients. And what's most important is we all evolve. And I think we need to give ourselves permission to evolve because a lot of our clients come to us for their next chapter.
Yes.
So a lot of clients come to us saying, everyone knows me as a corporate girly. And now I am 47, 48, but I want to rebrand myself. I'm taking the leap to have my first startup. So now I'm a startup founder. So you can imagine, right, the risk, the fear, the anxiety they're feeling. So they know what they've done in their life. They know their through line, but they also want a new start.
Right.
I
They
like
want
that.
a refresh.
Creative consultant.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes.
If they only knew. But let's go focus on you being empowered women. Obviously, for you to be able to succeed in any industry, you gotta put, you have to establish yourself, your foundation. Tin, has there been any challenges when you started all this?
Oh yeah, a lot. I mean, personal
As
branding.
being a woman or just being an individual?
I mean, building the business, basically, where our core is about personal branding and empowering women. It's kind of like difficult to challenge that norm where women are sort of thought to be humble, to not celebrate their wins, to just
Not the women I know. Oh my goodness.
Or to play small.
to play small or like not take up too much space, right?
Okay.
But when we go to events internationally, we see women there and like most especially men, when they introduce themselves, when they, talk about their successes and their achievements, they're so confident. And we want to bring that energy to the local community, right? How do we bring that in here? But the challenge is, like a lot of people here, we sit on a lot of discovery calls and we see women, oh, I don't know if I can share this. Is it okay if I share this achievement? I feel like I'm bragging too much. So that mental block from our clients, that's basically the main challenge that we're trying to solve, the mindset shift, basically.
Do you think it's cultural?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
A lot of our discovery calls unpack a lot of cultural beliefs, limiting beliefs, personal beliefs that maybe they picked up growing up, and we help them have that confidence to be visible entirely in their full spectrum of who they are.
Well, because you mentioned the word help, I want to know about stories of people that you've gotten to work with and, proof of concept, and that these women or men that you've gotten to work with are already at a better place because of Maude Labs.
Okay, there's one instance that comes to mind recently. I won't name names, but we were on a call
No,
with
do tell.
well, she's an international client.
Okay.
But she's a Filipina American living abroad. And when we were working on her website, we were at the final stages already of the fine tuning, and we were fixing the elements of her website. And there was a portion of the website where we have her partners, logos of all of the partners that she's worked with, corporations, all local, international. And she said something in the call that really stuck with us, and I think we still use as an example, where she said, is it okay if I put all of these logos on there? Won't it seem like it's bragging? And we're like, of course not. Like, you should kind of make...
You should brag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like fighting that limiting belief, or fighting that like hiya culture of, oh my gosh, maybe it's too much if I put that out there. Like, would it be too intimidating for other people? It's like, no, go for it.
Beautiful. If you don't mind me interjecting, Monica, there's, I asked you a while ago if it's cultural. Briefly, because there's a lot of our Filipino citizens that are women and live in rural areas, and they're very entrepreneurial. These are the carinderia ladies that support families just because they cook and they put it in front of their houses, right? Would you ever think about a program to help? Obviously your fees are different, right?
Yeah.
But would you think about a program to empower these women and tell them, hey, look, you're not just about your carinderia, it's more than that.
Well, we actually partner with a lot of NGOs that help women. Just recently, we concluded a retreat last November, and we partnered with Anihan Technical Foundation, where they help women actually get employed.
Harvest, yeah.
Anihan. They get employed as chefs, as professional chefs. So you mentioned like carinderia. So students like that, they go to culinary school, but culinary school is so expensive, right? So we kind of like help, we kind of connect with these organizations and help the women like that.
I love that.
Beautiful.
It's intentional.
I love that.
Okay, there's something that you guys mentioned earlier on SEO websites, and I'm going to go straight to the point. Is that still even relevant in the world today? Is there a place still? I thought, for some time when I get to interview certain people, they would say that, oh, SEO is quite dead already, and it's really social media. What's your take on it?
Well, no. I would kind of like challenge that belief actually, because SEO is where you'll find the hot leads. Basically, the interest is already there. Social media, the algorithm is kind of like a guessing game, right? Like, I don't know if you just clicked on something and then the algorithm will show you things already, right? But with SEO, when people search on, for example, personal branding agency, when you bid on that search term already, then that person is already interested in getting to know you and your business, right? So, or donuts near me, just for an example, right? So the interest is already there. It's just a matter of like one click on how you convert this lead into an actual paying customer. So it's easier to convert versus for social media, where you have to go through awareness, consideration, the funnel.
Very interesting. But you know what? I'm glad that you guys are on our show today, because not a lot of people know this, but our network here, Bilyonaryo News Channel, has a lot of empowered women.
True.
Actually, I think there are more women anchors than male anchors. And you know what? We are not insecure about it. In fact, we celebrate our women anchors here.
Send them our way.
Send them our way, yeah.
Which one, the males or the females?
All of them.
So the women actually just happened organically, but it wasn't really intentional.
Yes.
It's just that it gravitated towards it. But of course, you still accept
Yes.
even the men and all.
Yes.
It's so interesting because oftentimes, Ferds, it's the brand, the company that gets pushed rather than the person itself. So what is this personal branding all about? To certain people who are not quite familiar, what is it really?
So nowadays, I think, I say this in every discovery call, but the two most expensive things in today's culture is trust and attention, right? You want to make sure that what you're looking at, what you're buying from, you're trusting the people that are behind it. You want to know that where you're putting your hard-earned money is to a community or a founder that you believe in, whose values align with you. Number two, attention, right? It's so hard to grasp today. I know I can go on my phone for 30 seconds, see 10 ads, and I can't even tell you each one that I've seen, right? So what we do is help our founders amplify their own voices to support the brand that they are nurturing. So making sure that it's a synergetic relationship between both. There's no disconnect.
Nice. All right. Very, very briefly before we let you go, what is next for Maude, and especially empowering women in the Philippines?
Yes.
Tin? Vic?
So happy Women's Month. We have an event this month. It's called the Maude Method. That is our one-day workshop. So we have workshops throughout the year. We can see it on our website, maudelabs.com. But we also have private retreats. We have luxury retreats that will happen twice a year. We have one coming up in April, and the setting will be in Shangri-La, Boracay.
Nice.
Perfect.
Tin?
Yeah, actually, she said everything.
Maude Labs
Ready.
Maudelabs.com.
They had to do that, right?
And of course, you optimize that as well.
Yes,
Sure,
of
it has its own SEO.
Right.
Ladies, thank you so much for being here today. Look at these three girls, each with their own voice, but coming together to actually help other women and men as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, that's Tin, Monica, and Vicky. Please stay tuned, and the Daily Dish will be right back.
Thank you so much.
See you in a bit.
Welcome back to the Daily Dish. Before we go, we have this breaking news. The Department of Energy has announced the staggered implementation of projected pump prices this week. As of March 9, it says diesel prices may increase by 17 pesos and 50 centavos to 24 pesos and 25 centavos per liter. Gasoline may go up by 7 pesos to 13 pesos. Kerosene may also increase by 32 pesos to 38 pesos and 50 centavos per liter. Select companies will implement staggered hikes each day until the resulting pump prices is achieved. Stay tuned to BNC for more updates on that story. And tomorrow on the Daily Dish, we'll speak with the founders of the Closet Culture, Roshni Mercury and Sia Dariani. We also have Tanya Maria Aguila to talk about women's wellness, perfect for International Women's Month. We're still celebrating the achievements of women and recognizing their resilience, their strength, and their beauty. Right, that's it for us today, Monday at March 9. Join us again tomorrow for more Real Talk.
A lot of spilled tea.
With Zero Filter, I'm Monique Tuzon-Basi. Anytime is a good time because it's always more fun with us.
And I'm Ferdi Salvador, always on top of the news and stories that matter most.
I'm Chal Lontoc. Stay tuned to the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Thanks for making us your lunchtime companion. I'm Mai Rodriguez. That's the Daily Dish.
Serve!